You woke up this morning excited for your day. You had a full day of plans with your partner or your homegirls, and you were just going to spend the morning kind of lounging around in your house where all of your bills are paid, right? You go downstairs, you make you some coffee or a tea, your partner makes you breakfast. It's just beautiful. You feel good about your life and the journey that you're on. And then you pick up the phone so that you can play some music, and then you get to scrolling. And then you see that your friends from middle school and high school have all of these beautiful things. Somebody just bought a BMW and their husband just bought them a 14 karat gold diamond ring. And now you looking like, where is my 14 karat gold diamond ring? Why don't I have that? Why don't I have a BMW? Why don't I have a 4-story mansion with a nanny and a butler? And why am I not flying off into Turks and Caicos for the weekend? Now you're starting to question your life. You're starting to question all of the things that have gotten you to this moment, to your beautiful life that you've curated, that you've designed and gotten to this point. You survived so much to get you here. But now you're wondering why you couldn't have done more, why you're not in a better place. What about you is not good enough that you don't have that too? Where's your 14 karat gold ring? Where's your children? Where is your support? Where is your accolades? Things that you didn't even care about before you logged in. No. You have a beautiful life. And you know you have a beautiful life. You woke up just excited to get your day started. But somewhere along the line, something told you that your life wasn't good enough. And it's not that your life isn't good enough. It's not that your life sucks. It's just that you might be chronically online. Because why did you need to know that your homegirl in middle school from 20, 30 years ago just flew out of the country to Paris, where you've always wanted to go? You just haven't made it there yet. But that's okay. It's okay if you haven't crossed off everything on your to-do list and your bucket list by now. That's all right. You may be sad that somebody just announced their second pregnancy and you're still trying to conceive your first. And that might hurt. But your journey is your journey. Your life is your life. And whatever is meant for you is meant for you. Hey there, loved ones. Welcome or welcome back to another episode of Self-Care Sundays with Starr. I'm your host, Sonia Starr J, and today we are going to be talking about how to embrace the beauty in your own life and to log off and stop checking for what everybody else got going on. So if you are new to the channel, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe and become a part of the loved ones community. Many of you may have heard the quote, "Comparison is the thief of joy," and it really is. I actively avoid Instagram because people only post their highlights on there, and it seems as though you can't post real life stuff. Like, you can't post when you're going through a hardship or you're going through something that's not so extravagant. And it also seems like you can't post something if it's not the best of the best. And because we have access to thousands upon thousands of other people's lives through different platforms that we're on, we are so tuned in to what everybody else is going through. Like right now, I'm in the media space and I'm a smaller creator, but I'm seeing everybody going to Cannes and Essence Fest and all these different places, and it's like, wow, I wish I was there. But like, girl, if you weren't logged on, would you want to be there? Would you even know that all of these things were going on and happening if you weren't so tuned in across every platform? And that's what it does to you. Constant stimulation and constant contact with other people's lives. Like, we were not supposed to know this much about these many people. And when you're constantly scrolling on platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Threads, it's giving you insights to other people's thoughts to the point where it's like, wow, Is that even my idea? Is that even a thought that I originally had? And sometimes we got to take a step back to really hear our own voices and to really figure out what we want in our lives. Like, when you're online and you're scrolling and you see a lot of conversation about relationships, there are so many deferring conversations around relationships and marriage specifically. And there was one day where I was scrolling on TikTok, and the algorithm is so funny, where it had one video where it was talking about how beautiful marriage is and all of the great things about marriage. And the very next video was someone talking about how much they hated being married or going through a divorce, all these things. So it's like it can really kind of condition your thought patterns if you're not aware of what you're being fed on these platforms. There are people who are curating their lives to look a specific way. For example, the people who live these luxury lifestyles, and they post these contents about their luxury hauls and the luxury things they bought for their homes. And every time I look, I'm like, nobody's house looks like mine. Like, people's homes don't look lived in. Or maybe that's just the content that I'm being shown. But people who live these luxury lifestyle and everything is beige, and it's like, where's the color? Where's the life? Are the kids not leaving toys everywhere? I remember I asked a question on one video, and I'm like, where's the mail? Like, I have a stack of mail on my counter, and usually when I go to people's homes, they also have like miscellaneous things like around the house, but you don't see that in people's videos when they're showing their homes and their halls. They're only showing you the curated spaces and pieces of things that they want you to see. We have to understand that while social media is a real place to an extent, a lot of people's content is curated for what they want you to see. Most recently, one of my favorite content creators, Aaliyah's Face, just announced that she's pregnant. She's in like her last trimester, and everyone's like, how did you hide this from us? And it's like, because she didn't want us to know or see that she was married or that she was pregnant. But it's like, that's her right to have that privacy, because that's the job that she chose, as being a content creator. But people can create an illusion of a life that they want you to see. The point that I'm trying to make with that is that people can edit their photos, they can edit their videos the way that they want us to view them. So you're actively comparing your current real life to someone's highlight reel, to what someone wants you to see, and not the behind the scenes of things that are going on in their actual lives. And another thing too is that rage bait content gets a lot more engagement. So if you engage and interact with content that is rage baity, your algorithms will continue to show you things of that nature. And so if you really want to lock in on your own life, I would say to limit your scrolling. But if you are online, you need to tailor your algorithms to things that make your nervous system feel good. Once I started realizing that rage bait content was doing its big one, like really being pushed in the algorithm, and I'm like, why am I so angry? Why am I so stressed? This has nothing to do with me. Like, that's not my life. Why am I mad that this person that I have never met in my life did this thing? It's because that's how the media oftentimes wants us to engage in these things that will cause us to be enraged and cause conversation. And negativity does breed conversation, because people want to combat, they want to be combative, and they want to argue in the comments, they want to go back and forth, and they want to laugh. But the reality of the situation is positivity doesn't always get the recognition that it deserves. Luxury lifestyle content gets a lot of clicks and engagement because a lot of people may aspire to that lifestyle, but it's not attainable for everybody. So some people are watching that content in envy, and some people are watching it in admiration. Like, wow, I can't wait until I can have that thing. And it does give us something to aspire to. Yeah, as a woman, when I look at that content, I'm like, wow, those are things that I would love to have. But then I can say, oh, that's actually not something that I like too much. I want more personality and color and all those things. But it does give you something to aspire to and desire, and it creates the mindset of there's so much more in this world to be able to have access to. So in that way, it can be a good thing. But when your normal life starts to feel like you're behind, that's when you kind of want to pull back a little bit and start to take time for yourself to not engage so much with what's going on online, because like I said, you're absorbing a lot of other mindsets and lifestyles, and it might not be healthy for your mental health. Now, another point that I do want to make is if you are seeing this content and you are chronically online, besides taking some time away to focus on your own life, if these are things that you do desire, take some time to really consider what you do want your life to look like. Because if you honestly feel like your life sucks and you want to change some things, then make the changes that you want to see. Don't continue to scroll and watch other people live their lives and build their dream lives while you're watching them do it, instead of putting action towards building your own. And a lot of times when you are chronically scrolling or chronically online, it does something to your brain chemistry, and you're not bored, you're overstimulated. Like, you're getting these constant shots of dopamine through scrolling, and it's taking away from the work that you could be doing in your own life. Now, I can honestly admit that I was a person who was doing this. I was constantly scrolling like, wow, how do I get there? How do I do these things? And I had to take a step back. I had to stop scrolling and get into my own body, get into my mind, get into my life, and really sit with myself and say, wow, I have a beautiful life, an absolutely beautiful life, a great life. I have so many good things going for myself, beautiful marriage, beautiful, just bought a house, like just so many great things. And so that's why I developed my serendipity journal, so that I can start to track the good things in my life, the happy accidents that happen in my life. And it helped me to really see that there are beautiful things happening every single day. The other day, I took my god sister to a festival, and then we went to Michael's, and I was like, I really want to get into coloring a different coloring book. And so we went over to the section where the coloring books are, and I was like, man, I don't really see anything that I like. And she just so happened to move a book out of the way, and there it was, a coloring book that I've been wanting to get for the longest. I just haven't made it a priority to order it. And so I took it home and I spent the night coloring, and I was just like, I was so excited about that one small little thing, and it just changed my mood and just changed how I felt about the day, because I got to do something that was creative and fun and cozy for myself. So just keeping track of the way that life is happening for you in beautiful ways, even if you are experiencing some negativity in your life. Like, I was laid off, I lost, several of my family members, and so I started to get into a really negative spiral. And so I'm like, I have to keep tracking the beautiful moments so that I don't get deeper into a depression. So if you also want to start tracking the happy accidents and the serendipity in your life, please go ahead and download my digital journal that I will link in the description box for you. Because the truth is, in all of our lives, we're going to experience things that don't always feel the best, don't always look the best. And we may wake up one day and not feel the greatest. And getting online and scrolling and seeing everybody else live beautiful lives, and we're not able to see the beauty in our own lives, it can just make you feel so much worse. That constant access of seeing everybody else seemingly live out these wonderful lives, because nobody's posting the bad things. Nobody wants people in their business. Everybody only wants you to see the good. And you've got to be intentional about seeing the good in your own life as well. You owe it to yourself, your current self, and your future self to take time out now to realize how beautiful your life actually is. You have to let yourself know every single day that your life is beautiful. And even if it doesn't look the way that you want it to look right now, today, you can rewire your brain chemistry by noticing the small joys and pleasures that happen every single day. So before we get out of here, I just want to leave you with one journal prompt, and you want to take this journal prompt and write it down every single night. And it's just, what is one beautiful thing that happened to me today? It's different than expressing gratitude, because yes, we can be grateful. You can be grateful for the things that happen in your life, but it's different than being able to acknowledge what is something beautiful that happened to me today. So I hope that this video was valuable to you. Be sure to tune in to the series every Sunday at 8 a.m. and I will catch you next week. Same time. I'll see you there.
Been a minute since we kicked it, you've been